Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I had a lovely moment where as soon as I hit go and I hit go live, I realized I forgot to replace that video with the new one. Oops.
That is
Oops.
okay. I still like that one.
I do too. It turned out good overall, for
Well,
a
that's
few
'cause you
minutes
made
in
it.
the thing. But I think everybody else should see the new. Well, you might have already seen the thumbnail. You probably did see the thumbnail. That's okay. P.S. Hi, everybody.
Hi. I'm like, what are you
Hi,
showing us?
Jennifer.
Oh,
Look at that. Look at you. I love that picture.
you like it? I had to get a little pink on the hair and had to play with it because I wanted my hair color to match yours.
Aw. Nobody's
So
ever
that
wanted to
way we
match
could,
me before.
yeah, that way we could kind of be like twinsies.
I like that. I also appreciate that on many levels. Oh, goodness gracious, everybody. Hello, how are you? We are so happy to be here. It was a long time coming. The Perfect Crime went off pretty well, so we were like, let's do it again. And so we're just going to make it a thing that we do.
We
Yes.
are, and I have to tell you, I am still getting submissions from people that I laughed. One came in today. In the subject line, it said, I used fake email. So I guess they were saying, don't reply or ask me any questions because they made an account to send in their crime and then they deleted it. And I'm like, I'm okay with that.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God. Well,
But no, I think right now we're sitting on close to 100 submissions.
Wow. Now we just need those 100 submission people to tune in. So everybody, this is a grassroots effort.
Yes.
We're calling you out. Share us with everybody. And subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Makes a big difference. So yes.
And I do have someone reading through the Perfect Crime scripts and categorizing them for me in a folder. Right. And he is putting 4 episodes or 4 plans in each time we're going to record and giving me the subjects. So I don't know what they are, but just let everybody know I made an executive decision without checking with you, JT. We had a couple that were crimes against children. And I nixed those. And I just want to go on record saying, please do not send anything in that is harming a child because I don't want to break your plan. I just want to send you to jail.
Yeah, it's true. Not you, but the person.
Yeah.
Who might enact it, apparently, assuming that you don't do it.
Right.
The one that we do have one tonight, that doesn't include anything like.
It does not.
Okay. Cool.
I double checked.
Great.
And look, I put my special pink ice cubes from my birthday party in my glass tonight.
Oh, I love the cubes. And Jennifer, don't worry. Nobody looks at mine either. So, yep.
Nobody looks at mine either, Jennifer.
It's fine.
Sometimes I feel like I should just not post. I feel like I should just not post.
there, the most success that I've ever had on Twitter was literally posting about the Murdaugh trial, and it had nothing to do with the actual Murdaugh trial. It had everything to do with the frequency in which I was posting, which was very uncomfortable because it was a lot, and I felt bad. But also, I was able to look up things like the algorithm and what it responds to better and how it kicks up your post and stuff. And shares don't really do what likes do, which is really weird. But here we are, right? Here we are.
I did not know that. The only time I've really gotten anything, it's on my personal TikTok.
Hi, Law and Crime Network.
I'm like, love that. On my personal TikTok, which is Tear Bear, Texas, if anybody wants to follow me there, I just had my first post that got a lot of views when I was on my way to fight that fire this week. I decided to be all cute and sassy and post something while I was driving there, and then include some of the pictures from the fire.
Yeah.
Most views I've ever gotten, I got 10.
Oh man, I think it says more about the state of Twitter than it does about us. That's what we're gonna go with. I like it.
Are they going to rename it
They
now
did.
that it's X? So is it officially X and not Twitter?
It is. Well, it is X for sure. I think everybody else is going to call it Twitter. But what I like is the fact that when you send a DM, I am now calling it a DMX. So everybody enjoy that. You can have that one. Feel free to share with your friends and your family.
Well, HH and I found something that you need to check into if you have Amazon Prime.
Yes.
It is called, now I don't know the name of it. Song Game. You pay for it. You can get the first 7 days free. They play you clips in different genres. And then you have to guess the artist and the name of the song.
That's my jam.
And you can do up to 7 people. And I have to tell you, we wound up staying up till 3:00 in the morning. We thought we'd do it around 10 to see what it was like. We stayed up for hours doing it, and it was wonderful.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to check it out.
You need to, because you would sing it out loud, and I want you to video yourself.
I would, for sure. For sure. Oh, my goodness. So we have, 4 plans tonight? And I'm excited to get to it. So what do you think? Should we get to it?
We should, but one challenge I would like to throw out. If anyone wants to put in the chat that if you think on our next recording that JT should wear his new pink wig that is arriving on Monday, I got him and I matching pink wigs. Our next recording, you have to agree to wear it.
It will indeed make me illegal in like 8 states. So, I like to live dangerously. Everybody's going to vote yes, which is really funny because I would have voted yes too. Last night, you guys didn't see it because, we were watching a train wreck of Jodi Arias, and Teri had sent me. Teri, it was right after I did the Chat GPT Mad Libs, and Teri sent me a picture of a wig and said that's coming on Monday, and I was like, yes, that makes 7 wigs. Now I have 7 wigs. So,
but
here we are.
I'm going to just say the pink one's the best. So that's just my 2 cents.
Well,
I'll even send you the 35 cents.
Oh my goodness. Hey, look, Brandy's here. Hi, Brandy.
Oh, Brandy's here. Yes, Brandy, we need him. Oh, maybe I should send Brandy a pink one too.
Look, this stream has a bunch of wonderful people, and Brandy's here, and so is the Law and Crime Network, which I don't know. I mean, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so we got 4 plans tonight, and I'm excited to do plan 1. So let's go ahead and play the little intro. All right, we got a random murder. All of these were submitted by anonymous. So
Yes. So, and remember, these are cold reads for me, so bear with me. Plan one, random murder. When it is late at night, go to the house of someone random. Make sure the victim lives far away from your house, as the murderer is usually expected to live near the victim. Once in the house, look for the house owner, kill him/her, and then leave without touching anything, so it will look like the murder was committed by someone who had a grudge against him or her. After that, get rid of all of the clothes you were wearing. Do not clean them, as there may be slight traces of blood. It is best to burn them, shoes too. And as for the murder weapon, if it was yours, clean it as best you can and get rid of it. The best, in my opinion, would be to throw it into the sea and do not commit any crimes again.
I mean, a one and done. A one and done.
Okay, all I'm going to say again, here we go, random people.
Well,
How do you choose? How do you choose the house?
how do you choose the house? How are you going to get in? There are a lot of variables here. A lot of variables.
Yeah. And I'm going to just say my first thought, you cannot leave without touching anything. If you break a window, you're going to touch something. If you open a doorknob, you're going to touch, you're going to touch something.
You'd literally have to do this crime in like an extra large Trojan body condom, and even those are only accurate 98% of the time. So the chances are it's it's not gonna be great every single time. I'm just gonna toss that out there. Yeah. Yeah, and also if they are random, you don't know if there's cameras in the house, right?
Yes.
And so then if you have to get rid of the camera, you've got to touch the camera, which means you probably have to touch something else to then get to the camera. You can, well, Santa is
Hey?
wanted for a lot of crimes. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I would say you would need to break in the bedroom, because the chances of there being a camera in the bedroom are very slim.
That's
Or depending
probably
on
true.
your
I mean, I don't kink
lifestyle.
shame. I
I don't either. In my day, I've had a camera in my bedroom, but not currently at my age.
You do you, boo boo. You do you. Dogs, really good thought, because if
Dogs,
they are random, you have no
right? And
idea.
children. And what if they're
Yeah,
not
and kids,
asleep?
right?
What if they're
Well, and
just
how the heck are you
sitting
supposed
up?
to know? Right. How are you supposed to know the owner? Who's the owner? Right? I mean, I guess it's the adult, right?
I would hope
Like
so. But what if there's a house
this
sitter
didn't
there
right, or a babysitter.
or a babysitter?
Um,
What said late? Well, you could have a
this
babysitter
didn't
late at night.
this didn't work well for the Manson family. It technically was. I mean, I know that they targeted the house, but it was random. They didn't know the people, right? There was no connection. They picked a house. They didn't really case the house, as far as I remember reading, but it's also been probably a decade. And they went in. So I don't know. It's not exactly. Yeah.
But now you have Ring doorbell cameras everywhere,
Hmm.
plus alarm systems,
Yep.
dogs, kids. I mean, I think back to when my kids were little. If somebody would have broken into my house, they would have probably stepped on a Lego and would have screamed so loud.
Oh, it's the best security system ever. Nan, you got me with that one. That's a winner.
You got me. I was like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, I didn't put that in there. Who did that? Oh my gosh. Oh goodness.
Now, I will say, I think it's smart to burn your clothes and your shoes. However, if it is like it is right now in Texas, we have a burn ban. you can't burn anything. If they see smoke, you're going to get in trouble. So you would need to do this in the winter so it wouldn't be obvious that you're burning, or you better take some graham crackers, marshmallows, and some Hershey's chocolate to say that you're doing a s'mores.
Assuming that you have a fireplace, could you do it in your fireplace and then collect the ash?
You could, but
Although
if there's,
burning rubber.
I was getting ready to say, that's going to leave in the bottom of your brick in your fireplace inside.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to work well, is it? There's a lot going on here. And then we're back to the whole throw the weapon into the sea. But, I've lived in Kansas and kind of SOL on that front. So the sea doesn't, I mean, there's a fast moving river. But again, things get pulled out of the rivers all the time. I mean, have you ever seen those guys who go magnet fishing off of bridges and then they like pull up guns and
Pull
stuff?
up stuff.
I mean, that happens all the time.
And
And
now
then
they have
how
the
are you gonna
drones, water drones.
right? And how are you gonna? I mean, what is the weapon that's going to allow for quick, quiet elimination? Because if you have, I say quick, quiet murder. If you have a, if you're going for the adult owner of the house or adults, because it's 2023 and people co-own homes now. Thank you. Well, you don't know if somebody else is in there, and so it's got to be quiet, and you can't touch anything. You got to bring it with you. So what is it? Ooh, Kelly came in hard with the potassium syringe.
Oh, I kind of think, yeah.
I mean, yeah, an injection would do it. If it's nighttime and they're sleeping, now I'm gonna worry about myself forever. Oh, Shireen, it's so fascinating to watch magnet fishing.
Magnet fishing, yes.
I don't do it obviously, but I mean, it would be fun to do. I bet you I could find a lot around here in this city. But I think you also need a permit and stuff. So
I think
it's a
you have
lot
to
like
have a permit.
it's like metal detection. Which honestly I could just talk to Recovery Addict about it and he'd probably know more than anybody. So
yeah. And my other thought is I live in a state where there's a lot of guns.
Boy, are they.
The chances of you getting shot at before you get to that homeowner's room is probably pretty high in a state like this crazy one.
I'd say the chances of you getting shot accidentally pulling into somebody's driveway are a lot higher. Yeah. The thing, yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to just say this random murder. I'm going to just say, I decided we should start giving them ratings.
All right.
Like school paper ratings. And I'm going to just say this person would be going to jail. I don't know what the rating scale should be.
Going to jail. Well, I've always, I've learned that when in doubt, go to the folks that are watching. So if you have an idea for a rating scale, you're more than welcome to send it to us, or you can put it here in the chat and we'll kind of combine some thoughts and things and we'll make it a
because I think we should.
Rating. I do too. Let's say, what, 1 to 5?
Yeah, 1 to 5. Because I think, and I'm keeping these and we're putting them in a folder with the date. I want to see as time goes on, since we're going to continue this, how much more detailed they become, how much, more thought. So I hope to see that the ratings, and I hope, I just hope to see them improve.
Yeah. So, I think what we do is we do a Likert scale, which is 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, but 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 should each have their own like title or name. And then what'll happen is you come up with those 5 and we'll combine thoughts and ideas. And then I'll come up with like a sound effect for each one. And then we'll go from there. Right?
Yes.
So, because like 5 could be, oh yeah, right? And then 1 should be,
I'm gonna bite my pillow. It's what I'm gonna do.
So, yep. I went to a very different school. No, it was very alternative. It was, well, no, I'm not going to go. I almost got political. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Do it. Come on, do it.
No. I'll try and keep it together. I'll keep myself together. So we're going with, this is probably a big old one.
I'm going to say this person is going to be sentenced to life in jail.
Yeah. Good grief. All right.
Oh, Brandy said do it. So the master, JT, says you need to do it.
No, I mean, I just was saying I would have gone to an alternative school, the School of Insurrectionists. That's about as good as it gets. Here I am. I just made it. There it is.
You just
Shall we go to plan 2?
We should. Now, plan 2, they did not, excuse me, ask me to be anonymous. Their name is on the email, but since it did not say include it, I still asked you to do it anonymous.
Yes. Oh boy. Well, that video was much more nefarious than the actual crime. There's not an axe involved in this, I don't think. So.
Wow. I don't know, but it's a little bit longer one.
Okay.
And since they put it into steps, I'm going to try to read it that way. So this is the case of the abused dog abduction. I'm just going to tell you.
I see.
I'm all in if this goes the way I think it's going to go.
All right.
So all other avenues tried, so I must resort to criminal methods. I like this. So there's a prep. Weeks in advance. Step 1, buy a wig, sunglasses, oversized clothing, and oversized men's shoes from the thrift store hours away. Step 2, carefully map the route I will take for possible cameras, mostly alleys while walking my own dog, which is a nothing unusual as he walks every day, but not the same routine. I think they're saying it's normal.
Yeah, never keep the same routine when you go for walks.
Yeah. Step 3, type card with explanation asking for a good home and not to be brought home or to the pound for reasons listed. Short rope, no water, food, exercise, or protection from the elements. They put this stuff out when complaints are filed, but only then. Okay, so I'm going to stop and break it down a little bit. So step 1, we're buying our gear, what we're going to wear. Step 2, we're going to plan our route. Step 3, we're going to type a card to leave, it sounds like.
Okay.
So I will type this well in advance at a library out of town while wearing gloves. There you go. That's where my brain was going. Step 4, the day of. Ask my twin sister to walk my dog to the opposite side of town as I feel really ill and can't get out of bed.
I like it.
I'm like, I like it. When she comes over, I hide her phone, forcing her to borrow mine while I look for hers. So sister also has her phone. Step 5, the crime. Free the dog and attach note. Run him with my head down, in case of a camera that was missed, through the alleyways to the enclosure at dog park. Run back home using back door, of course. Burn all evidence in fireplace. Lickety split shower and back to bed in the same PJs. When twin sister returns, I let her know I found her phone, though it took some time, especially feeling so ill, which is also why I use the fireplace, trying to get warm and feel better. Thank her for being there. Step 6. I know people who show up at a dog park religiously every half an hour after he has been dropped off, whom I also suspect one of them will claim the dog for a beautiful life. Step 7, sit back and wait to hear from one of the dog park peeps and act shocked while thanking them for saving the poor dog. So the note went on the dog that she dropped at the dog park.
Oh. Now.
I love everything about this. I would just say I would add on this, call and report them for being a bad pet owner to your local rescue shelter so that they won't let them come and adopt another dog. I don't know if that's a real thing, but
It's a good question. Would she?
well, but if you burn stuff in the fireplace because you're not feeling well and you're just trying to get warm, you could have just thrown magazines in there.
You could burn it after. I mean, if your sister has nothing to suspect, you could absolutely do it afterwards.
I will just say, being a twin, if y'all are identical twins and you were on camera anywhere, your sister's not going to be happy with you.
It's very true. Very true. Oops. We have some folks that are wondering what's going on. So it's not Guess That Murder. What we're doing is this is the podcast True Crime and Wine Time, and we're doing kind of a sub show called The Perfect Crime, in which we get user submitted crimes with them thinking that it would be the perfect crime, and then we poke holes in them because it's fun to do, and then we give them a rating at the end, from going to jail to not going to jail. Yeah, that would be weird.
Well, but you shouldn't see them. So if they are cheap stuff that you bought and they're very flammable, there's not going to be much residue.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I have a hard time finding an issue with this other than it's real hard to find every single possible camera along a route.
Yes, I agree. I would have added a mask to it. With the oversized men's clothing, just in case anything picks you up.
The other thing that I'm thinking is that if you go and you buy a wig, what did I write here? A wig, sunglasses, oversized clothes, and shoes, you're gonna look pretty goofy walking around. And so it's gonna
Agreed.
be pretty evident, what the heck is going on, and why is this person dressed like this? That we no longer live in the era of Jinko jeans. So
Well,
yeah.
I'm going to just say, being downtown Austin just recently, there were people walking around, and we've got a huge homeless population thing going on, but we've also got 6th Street. In a place like Austin, nobody would notice anybody dressed like that.
That's
So it
fair.
might
I mean,
depend on where you live.
it does depend on where you live. In my general area, you would be called out pretty quickly. I would probably find myself on my local neighborhood Facebook group. Just saying. It's probably what would happen.
I was say,
Yes, it would change the gate of your
yes.
walk, which is not a bad idea, really.
I was say, which isn't a bad idea, put lifters in them. But I was just listening to, I don't even know what podcast it was. They were talking about the couple killers. The woman, nobody could describe what she looked like because she wore this most amazing dress. All of the witnesses were like, oh, she had this great dress. And they could describe the dress to a T, but couldn't tell you anything about her.
That's
so maybe
brilliant.
You go that way and dress, something that people will be like, oh, wow. So maybe they won't notice you so much.
I'm trying to think of anything else. What else? I literally wrote a page.
I love that you want to abduct the abused dog. I've done this before in my life, but I didn't have to be quite so incognito. The people who lived behind my mom, HH and I had come in from Dallas for a weekend, and this dog was still tied up outside with no water, and we'd seen it a couple of weeks before, and it looked really bad. So before we left on Sunday, I jumped over the fence and we took the dog and took it back to Dallas with us. And her name was Mandy. And she was a very sweet little girl.
You didn't even need a wig.
I didn't even need a wig because I jumped over the back fence and did it. And the people got another dog the next week.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So.
What? All right. Well.
But we did a good thing. So I'm all about this. I will say, I want to know what a lickety split shower is. Is that like a hose shower? Like we used, like,
is that what a
my
cat
mom
does?
used to
A
tell
lickety
me.
split?
I don't know. My mom used to tell me, girl, go take a hose shower. And I was like, what? She goes, PTA. Pits. Tits. Yeah.
That's
I just don't know what a lickety split shower is. Is it just your PTA?
Just a fast one. Just enough. Just enough to get by. Actually, it wouldn't be terrible if you stayed, you didn't completely dry off, because it would make your clothes a little wet, so it would look like you did have a fever or a temperature and you were
Or a
breaking it.
temperature?
Yeah. Yep.
Now, my other thought is, what if this dog doesn't like people and is aggressive and you get bit when you go up to try to take
That
them?
is a concern, isn't it? Especially if it's been treated the way that we say it. You'd really have to be able to understand dog body language. I
mean,
for sure.
because you could get bit.
Phrasing. That's all I got to say about that. Phrasing. Yeah,
that's what she said.
You can go with treats. Sometimes if it hasn't been very long, a dog will kind of pull it around. He'll kind of turn around and enjoy you. There are a lot of dogs out there who have been so mistreated that they won't trust the heck out of any human being. So it won't matter what you bring them. And that takes a really long time to earn that trust and break that. That's what's so heartbreaking about some of these cases.
Yeah. I mean, I have a Catahoula mix, and we're having to put him in the pool to do some physical therapy on his leg, which he doesn't like. I will tell you, he will not even take a treat from me, because the minute he sees the life jacket, he's like, peace out, mom. I'm done.
Like, I know exactly what you want.
So I just think if my own dog won't take a treat from me to try to get him to just get in the pool, I can't imagine, depending on what kind of dog it is. The one that we rescued was a little bitty Maltipoo type. So, but that's the only thing I think of, because then you're going to leave the blood at the scene from when they bite you, or when they come at you and you wet yourself. You're going to leave behind some evidence.
Speaking of which, Prissy Pants apparently almost peed her pants. She forgot she had cats now. Memories all alone in the moonlight. Believe me when I say the cats appreciate the fact that you almost peed your pants.
Yes.
So.
Now, the only thing I think I would do a little different, I would have left them a nasty note too, telling them why their dog was taken.
Would you have typed it?
I would have typed it at the library when you did the other one. But I would just because I, still believe in manners, I guess. And if you're going to steal their dog, you should leave a note.
Candace, this is why we love you. She lives kind of out in the desert, and people dump their dogs out there all the time. Hence the reason she has 9 now.
Yes, they do. When we lived in Vegas, we found that out, but they kept leaving cats, and we wound up with 9 cats.
I've got a friend of mine who has a podcast. You know them, Spine Chillers and Serial Killers.
Yeah.
Good show. Based out of England/France, and she lives in France, and animal welfare is not fantastic in France. And she has accumulated a large number of cats because they come wandering her way and they take care of them. And so, and they're not like, they're just pets that have been ignored and left, and that's what happens. So yeah, and I see a ton of this abandonment here in the area that I live in Virginia, because at the end of a hunting season, if a dog doesn't cut it, they're either abandoned or they're dropped off without care, which I hate immensely.
Well, that's how we wound up with Bo, our Catahoula. He was in a box with 7 other puppies left on the side of the road in Houston. They were all males, and they had tested them all to see if they'd be good at fighting dogs. And I can tell you, ours and our neighbor has his brother, they're scared of their shadows. So they would have not been good fighting dogs. But so we lived by this house in California for the first time in my life ever. And it happened as an adult. So I was able to handle the rejection better. We had rescued a cat in Vegas that only had 3 legs because a coyote had eaten one of his legs.
Jeez.
He moved to California with us. His name was Oogie. Oogie, we opened the front door and he ran out down the street to the old lady's house, because it was a pier and beam house. So it was up and it had like the under section. She had about 60, 70 cats. She would go buy the big bags of cat food and just slice it and leave it open in the yard. So my cat ran away to go live there.
Oh no.
He wanted to go because I wouldn't let him outside because he only had 3 legs and he needed to stay inside.
Right.
But yeah, Oogie Boogie,
nope.
Oogie Boogie ran away from us. Went to live. And when we moved from California back to Texas, I was like, AJ, we got to go get him. And he was like, he didn't like you. He left you. He divorced you. And I'm like, but we can't just leave him. So we went and bought food and kind of donated to her and just put it in her yard.
Yeah, where I spent a good chunk of time growing up, it was like 40 minutes away from Michael Vick's house, and we all know what happened with Michael Vick. What I found hysterical is that he ended not obviously the dog fighting, because F that noise, but he ended up being incarcerated at Fort Leavenworth Prison, which I also lived 5 minutes away from when we were stationed in Kansas. So, and I can tell you right now, that prison, not great. He was not there long enough, but
he wasn't.
All right.
And the Michael Vick episode on the True Crime podcast, back before we hooked up permanently. Wait, now that did not sound good. HH, Mrs. Screw. That is, yeah. Not what it meant. That's where I went very Nancy Grace. Michael Vick's should be under the prison.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree. I don't like him very much. I don't think. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't like him very much. I'd like to stick him in a portal and send him far away. We can send him into a cell with Lori Vallow. That'll be fun.
Yes.
Nan said, wait. Where's the wine? It's coming. Don't worry. There it is. There it is.
I actually am drinking the champagne that somebody sent me.
Ooh,
and
really?
They did not include a card. And that's where HH said, please take our home address off of the website, please. But yeah, it's a Graham Beck Brut Rosé. And I don't know who sent it to me.
Yummy.
So I'm drinking it.
Let's move on to number 3. What do you think?
So I am very excited about number 3, and I hope it lives up to my expectations.
Oh, let's hope it's not like prom night. Getting rid of the X. Submitted by Anonymous.
And I just, when I saw that was put in, I was like, oh, yes, I can't wait. So, they give us steps too.
Well,
Step 1.
Let's do it.
Purchase black outfit, nylon bodysuit, gloves, and socks to cover shoes. Okay. Step 2. Watch the newspaper for local obituaries. Find a funeral on an upcoming day. Okay. Step 3. Leave phone at home. Rent a movie. Start movie. The night before the funeral, go to your ex's house wearing a nylon bodysuit under all black outfit with gloves and shoes that are covered in new socks. Okay. Hey, I got one of those too. That's why I was excited. Okay. Once you're in the house, use chloroform on a wash rag to knock out your ex. Once he is knocked out, place his body in a rolling desk chair and wheel him out to your car.
I know where this is going.
Make sure your car seats are covered in black trash bags. Okay, I'm loving this. Place him in your car, lay the seat back, place rolling chair into back seat or trunk if you drive a hoopty.
A hoopty?
A hoopty? Okay. Drive to the cemetery. Find the grave dug for the funeral that's happening the next day. Place your knocked out ex into the hole. Fire one shot. Then cover the body with some of the soil next to the site. Make sure the soil is level and no body parts are sticking out.
Good idea.
Leave cemetery. Take off black outer layer of clothes. Drop them off in a donation box away from your home and the cemetery. Get rid of gun in opposite direction of your home. Go home and go to sleep.
I have questions.
I have so many questions. You first.
Well, we didn't really get where the purchase would happen of the clothing.
No.
What if said X was into the whole really tight bodysuit thing? How do you know
No, I
that?
think that bodysuit was underneath the black outfit. So my thought is like a body condom to keep all your body hairs and your skin stuff.
Like
and
I
then you put
said,
on the black outfit over it.
98% accurate, you're effective. You got that other 2%. I mean,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I am fascinated with this idea of trying to figure out the next day funeral. And utilizing the open grave. However, if there is a planned funeral and you are going to wheel your ex into a grave and you're going to cover it back up, the staff at the cemetery are going to wonder what the hell happened, and they are going to dig.
Oh.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it's just like the funeral doesn't just pause because you decided your ex needed to go. So I almost would come up with your own. I don't really want to give advice. I should or not, but I'm going to.
Well, I'm going to stop you real quick before you give advice so we don't get sued. But I read it, and maybe I should reread it, that you put the body in the night before the funeral. My thought is, don't they dig the holes the morning of the funerals?
Not always. Sometimes they'll dig them the day before, and then they'll put the tent over it so it doesn't fill if there's rain.
And then there's a cloth thing in it because they put that machinery piece that drops the casket down. Is that already in there the night before? Because if so, you've got to move all that out to be able to dig.
Well, so, mm, mm, good question. I'd have to look that up. But I think Nan, where is it? Who said it? Somebody said it. That's it, Candace. That's why. So you do get in
Okay.
there, right? And you dig it. You could dig it a little deeper, or you could leave it the way it is. Drop him in, cover him up with just enough dirt so that they don't know the thing goes down, covers up. They cover up the hole. Done. Oh boy.
Because here's my thought. When they lower that casket, what happens if it's so heavy that like a body part pops out? Because when you put pressure on that body, is it gonna like little body parts gonna
Well,
like I'm moving my
typically,
hands. Go on.
I mean, maybe. I mean, but typically, like your casket's going to be a little bit. It depends on who your ex is. It really depends on who your ex is, and what we're assuming that the X is pretty flat, right? Like you don't have to dig further down to then even it out, right? So,
Right.
assumedly, if the casket's coming down evenly, which they do, it just sets right on top,
Okay.
and so, yeah. Mm-hmm. I it depends on how much you like your. I feel like that's a nice way to do it.
I, I
You could
was
always just dig.
thinking that.
Hmm?
And I also wonder about a rolling desk chair. I mean, I'm thinking of my rolling desk chair. First of all, it would have to be a 1-story house because no stairs. And a body in this trying to push it out over the doorway thing, I can just see the body falling out of it.
Yeah, and also like if you're gonna head over to a cemetery, you're talking rolling a rolling chair over grass, which
Yeah.
is not gonna work well. And dead weight is super difficult. I truly would almost find somewhere remote and find a hole, and
Yeah.
whether
I
you
mean,
like them or not determines whether you take care of taking them out before you drop them in the hole or not. Um,
I will say I do like that you're somewhat being respectful and the person's being buried in a cemetery. Your ex is. Just none of his family's there.
oh, so there's a lot of holes in this. I also don't know where you're gonna get the chloroform. Um,
I wondered about that. Is that something you can just buy?
I'm gonna get on a list for this.
And I did see somebody asked about the movie. It does say rent movie online. So I'm guessing streaming.
You could, yes. Wow. So there's a
And I
couple
also
things.
worry if you put your clothes in a donation box, your DNA still on them. And if there was blood splatter, that blood splatter is going to be on it.
So this is fascinating because
Yes.
really, you need a prescription for chloroform.
A
Or you
prescription?
have to be like a dentist or something. However, you can go to like the science company and buy 32 ounces of chloroform and it'll be shipped UPS ground within the US. I don't see anywhere in here where I don't you can use PayPal to check out. Now it's not going to help you in the long run if they can track that, but
Okay, I think we
yeah.
should just try to see if you can really buy it just to do it because I'm that person.
Oh, Jennifer, I am already on multiple, I'm sure.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
podcasting for 4
Jennifer,
years.
if JT's spouse or my spouse comes up missing or dead, we're both going straight to prison. Do not pass go. They're just going to look at our internet search history and be like, yeah, they did it.
If my mother-in-law doesn't get me first. I'm going to go with my mother-in-law is going to beat him to it. So, yeah. Yeah. That'll be quite the story. Hopefully Brandy will cover it. Cover that trial. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I think, Brandy, we would go in person to cover that trial.
Yes, I'll purposefully troll the camera just so you guys would be like, oh my gosh, he's making sign language. You're right, I was.
Okay, so wait a minute. You can really buy chloroform and have it. Is there a legitimate use for chloroform? That a person would need to buy it at home? I mean, a dentist, yes, I know, but...
Well, we know how well schools stock things for teachers. I would imagine a science teacher, if they're doing something along the lines of some kind of a... what is that called? I'm blanking. Where you like cut open frogs and stuff.
Oh, not an autopsy.
Nope. See, that's what I thought, and that's not it.
Oh my God, I did it. And we cut his little body open and a dissection.
Thank you. Yes. I don't know exactly how. I think usually they get these things already done. I don't think we do the whole live frog dissection any longer.
I was gonna say, mine had been dead for a while when I did it.
So I don't know, but I know that might be one reason.
Okay. That's surprising to me that anybody could just go and order it.
It's also used as a solvent for lacquers, floor polishes, resins, adhesives, alkaloids, fats, oils, and rubber. It also is used in making a refrigerant. And until like 1950s, it was used as an anesthetic. So it is used for more things than what we think. Yep, leave it to the teacher to know that answer. They do not do it live anymore. That's a virtual site to do it on. Wow, virtual site.
Oh, really?
So that's done. That was like the most nerve-wracking thing that I ever was worried that I'd have to do that I never really had to do. Because at that point I was not into that whole life. Not that I'm into that part of the life anyways.
But you talk about dissecting.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so like the whole car covered in trash bags thing. I mean, it might work at Rice Lake, but it sure as heck doesn't work around here. People are going to notice. So, I don't know.
Well, and I also want to say one shot. I mean, I'm pretty good. Got my license. I'm a pretty good shot. But if it was my ex, I don't know if I could control myself to do just one shot.
I guess, again, we're going with the how bad. I guess they'd have to be pretty bad if you wanted to do this. So,
I would. I mean, you don't just do this to a random ex.
I mean, no, that's true. What about? Well, yeah, no. Also, like, it's just so close. It's just so close. Like, the relationship is so close, and you can't say that each of you didn't talk to the other, like another group of people about what happened, the fact that they're your ex, et cetera, et cetera. So when somebody goes missing, it's just that you're the first one. Brandy said, I will cover that trial. I'll sing during the trial.
Yes, Brandy, yes. We will be there.
Polly said, you really think Brandy wouldn't be in the first row?
Exactly.
Yes, I want Brandy to be the I want Brandy to be the Gigi of my trial. Your butt better be on the bench next to me. Yeah. So that's fun. That's enjoyable.
Well, and the other part, and maybe just because I'm a really weird person, isn't that kind of disrespectful to the person who's being legitimately buried? Because if somehow they ever find out that there's potential, wouldn't they exhume that poor person's?
Oh my gosh. So my first response to that is, if you're going to take your ex out, you probably don't care about respect. But also, like, How terrible would it be? Oh man, this would be a story we'd cover on Brewery Report. How terrible would it be if you did this whole thing, you got away with it, and then there happened to be a question about the reason for that person's death, and they had to exhume the body, and then all of a sudden, just like another body was uncovered.
And then there's
oof.
DNA on it, and then you get caught that way. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, right? So, wait, what's a big thing in New Orleans?
Oh,
Do
just throw
tell.
them. I say you just throw them into the bayou, right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm guessing.
I'm about to send you a guest link so you can talk about this with us. Now I'm just fascinated. That's fair. That's very fair. I did assume that the person would be doing it and not respectful. That's not necessarily true. I have bad JT. Oh, graves get robbed. Oh, that would be. I mean, wouldn't they just say it was a 2-for-1? That sounds dark, but also, like, if there are grave robbers, they're probably not going to report the fact that they found a second body in a grave that they were robbing.
That's true. But wouldn't you just be, if you were like robbing that grave and then you saw a leg underneath, it'd be like, oh my God, I got more than I bargained for. I mean, I would have to check it out. So then you'd have to get the whole casket out and try to check it out.
Jeez. Sure, you have a point in here, but Florida just banned crocodiles just like they banned some states' driver's licenses. So the crocs are slowly moving out. They are on their way to Mississippi and Louisiana and South Carolina. Yep, there it is.
Well, and also the thing to remember about the swamps, they alligators and crocodiles are not always hungry. My grandparents lived there, and they literally would go and buy turkeys, frozen turkeys, to feed the alligators and crocs before I got there, because I tried to pet them.
Oh, well.
Because they lived right there on the swamp.
Brandy said if Carol Baskin can feed hers to tigers, then I'm sure gators would work too. Maybe. We could always just go over to Carol Baskin's.
Or you just put them in the pigs. Oh, somebody said it. You just put them out in the pig pen. They will eat all of it. Yes, that was on Criminal Minds.
That takes me to Hannibal. I think it was the second movie where he had pigs, and that was the end goal for Hannibal.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite series.
Yes.
Not Hannibal Rising, but the other three. Nan said, why did I think 2-for-1 was sexy? Because
it kind of was. I mean,
all your people are, they're all built above ground.
Because it floods and the water table there in Louisiana.
Buying Brandy some pigs. I don't know if they'll go to the P.O. box. They might. I mean, I don't know.
I have to say, considering I have an ex-husband, this was way too nice of a way to get rid of an ex.
That's fair. I did have another thing. Like, this works real well in places that do have burials underground and also horizontal. In Japan, they sometimes the cemeteries are on hills and they bury vertical because there's just not space. Yeah, so there's that. I mean, a lot of times it's other ways of doing it, but there are cemeteries where people are definitely on hillsides vertically. I mean, they don't mind, right? There's a great view, but there is that. So you also have to think about how those things happen. But so it doesn't work horizontally. Horizontally,
I know. I'm like going
burial style. Hold on.
Do you mean?
I'm sure that I understand this.
Are you mean vertical? Because horizontal is flat, vertical's up and down, right? Or do I got it backwards?
Vertical is up and down. Horizontal is flat.
Okay, so if they're horizontal, that's how everybody is buried. So vertical would be up and down. Right?
Allow me to correct myself and also feel very sheepish and stupid. Which is not surprising because it's me. I do not mind saying that I am wrong. It is very true. I should have known better. A good majority, a great majority of people in Japan are cremated, and they do allow for burial of the ashes with a tombstone. So my bads, my bads.
Okay. What's sad
So,
is, do you know how I remember horizontal and vertical?
oh boy, does it have anything to do with the hose shower? Because
No, it doesn't.
okay.
Happy husband is horizontal. Vertical is vile husband. They want you happy, not vile. We're just going to move on. We're just going to move on.
There are so many questions again that I have. Let's move to number 4. What do you think? Sure. There it is. That's much better. Horizon equals horizontal. There
That
it
works
is.
too. The V is up and down.
Yep, and the V is up.
That's good. See, she's not wrong. Hopefully she was talking about me not being wrong. So this next one, just going to put it out there. I'm told it's okay. So let's go. Oh, that's what we just did. There we go.
Kidnapping at Halloween. That is not submitted by Shireen. That was submitted by Anonymous. I just forgot to change the actual name of the person.
Oh.
So that's my bad. This is not from Shireen. This is from Anonymous as well. So
yeah,
again, not from Shireen.
I'm just going to tell you, I'm a little nervous. It says trick instead of treat.
Oh, God. Somebody is witty. Are we sure it wasn't me?
I don't know, but I'm going to just tell you, I'm reading the first 3 words and I'm already out.
Oh, boy.
Buy a clown suit with mask.
Make it stop! Oh, make it stop!
That's all I got to say about that.
I'm out. So, buy a clown suit with mask, put on costume, and head out for Halloween. Find a bar having a costume party, sit outside and wait for the drunk clubbers to leave.
Oh, we're back to the club. This is Shireen did do this, something like this. Okay, keep going.
Grab the person of your choice.
So it's like a buffet. It's like a human buffet. It's just all I can think of is it. Just like, hiya, Georgie. We all float down here.
And use stun gun to get them into your car.
With no witnesses?
Once in your car, tie them up so they can't get out of the car or get you.
Wait. Okay. So this is not a kidnapping. This is just taking somebody.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's just the phrase, but it's not a kid because a kid wouldn't be in a club.
I mean, it's possible.
No, I would come at you with everything I got.
Note to self, don't buy a clown wig.
Yeah, don't. So then you this sentence cracks me up. Blindfold the clubber so they can't see when they wake up.
I hope that the weapon is a club, just so it's ironic.
Drive out of town and take the clubber to a different large city and drop them off. You might need to use the stun gun on them multiple times to keep them out. When you drop them off, when you drop them off, play from your phone a clip that says, "No treats for you this year, only tricks. Happy Halloween."
No treats for you this year.
Continue driving out of town and go on a 2-day trip and along the way dispose of the clown costume. Return home after the trip and do not look up the news on the internet.
Do not look up the news on the internet. There's nothing wrong with going to a news site and just looking at news. Now, if you do it all the time and the same story, maybe. But yeah, there's DNA in the car. There's too many witnesses. You're in this part of the city that has clubs, therefore probably pretty bright outside.
Yeah.
Uh, you're much better finding the chloroform thing again. But again, there's just so many witnesses. Why don't pretend you're an Uber driver?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is up in Nacogdoches where SFA is, where I went. If some of the clubs, the parking lots were behind the buildings in downtown because it's an older place, and there was not a lot of lights. So I could see if maybe somebody came stumbling out before last call, like before the club closed, you might have a chance of picking off a solo person.
Maybe. So like all I can think of is this, and like the I think it was Polly had said, you're dressed as a clown at a club party, and all I can think of is the scene from Mean Girls where she goes to the Halloween party and everybody's dressed like what they're dressed like, and she comes in like that. And like, so you're going to try and fit there. See, there it is.
I don't
You
know.
try
It
and
says sit outside and wait for the drunk clubber to leave. It doesn't sound like the person ever actually goes into the club.
that's even weirder. That's literally you're trying to come
Yeah.
up with a third movie for oh come on, JT. Come on, what is it called? Sorry, you're trying to come up with Terrifier 3, and eh,
All,
eh.
all I know is a clown sitting in a car in a parking lot would raise all kind of red flags for me, and I would go the opposite direction and maybe even call 911 and report a strange clown.
I mean, yeah, 100%. Have you ever seen a picture of the Terrifier clown?
I have not. I've never heard of it.
Okay. Well, first off, don't
Are you
see the
going to
movie.
school me?
At least not the second one. There you go. Horrifying, right? Yep.
That was
horrifying.
HH's costume this past Halloween. I got it at Hobby Lobby. And it's the black and white suit.
Oh, yeah, that is quite the film. Quite the film. The first one's better than the second one. But still quite an unnecessary horror film. But yeah, that is most assuredly the first thing to worry about.
And there's going to be cameras in the parking lot. I mean, granted, if you're in a clown costume, they're not going to be able to identify you, but about the car you're in? If they get your license plate.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
There's just so many. There's a lot of issues. I think this goes to the one category.
I mean, I will say I like kind of the concept of you're not going to be, nobody's going to think you're weird that you're in a costume as a clown if it's Halloween. Right?
I mean, depending, you got to be in the right setting. You know what I mean?
Maybe
Like,
if I was sitting in the car dressed up as a clown waiting for people, at least be on your phone looking like maybe you're having a fight with your girlfriend or something or your boyfriend. So that people aren't looking at you weird. But then you have to get out of your car to go hit them with a stun gun. Because I don't think those are like remote controlled, are they? You can't like do them from afar away. right? You have to like be up close and
yeah.
dirty.
Oh, for sure. I think this person's assuming that this party is a lot like the one at Hocus Pocus, where where everybody's. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But Halloween parties. I mean, if you're at a club, you're. Well, I mean, people are wearing very little clothing, so it's kind of hard to say that they're packing anything. So there's that. I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting thought. It's almost, you take away the stun gun, it's almost a harmless mm,
That's what I was getting ready to ask. Is this really a
Harley
crime?
prank.
It's
I
like a
mean, if you
prank.
don't know the person, yes.
But why you didn't hurt them? I say that, does a stun gun hurt?
I would say so.
Okay.
It's not comfy. I mean, I know a stun gun can. That's the other thing. If you're going to stun gun them in your car, you are risking them urinating or defecating on themselves in your vehicle. In your vehicle.
Well, wouldn't you have to stun gun them outside of your car to pull them in?
Right, but then it said in the story
Oh,
you
if you have to
might
do
have
it
to stun
again.
them again and again and again and again, which really concerns. That's the most concerning part about this part of the story. It's just like, oh god. So there's that. Oh yeah, and Polly's right. You know what? If they have a heart condition, there's just so
Oh,
many
that
things
they
that could
could
go
just
south. It's not.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go on a limb and say that's probably not a great idea.
Yeah, stun guns can vary from 20,000 to 150,000 volts. So, I mean, I guess if they have the bad heart and everything goes south, you could always use the stun gun again to try and get it started. But that was not being serious.
'Cause my other thought is once they fall to the ground, how are you gonna get them up in your car?
Again, you'd really have to be
Off the
selective.
ground.
Yeah, yeah. This is definitely a 1. I mean, the first one that we did was a 1. The second one with the dog, I think, is probably between a 4 and a 5. I'd say 4.5. Because I think there's still some things you got to consider.
Mhm.
The
X, I think
3.
I like the thought, but maybe a 3. I think you
Yeah.
just need to work that plan a little bit more.
It's a 3.
The
Isn't
one
it?
thing
Probably shouldn't do it.
the thing I do like about this one, they didn't kill
Mhm.
them. They didn't kill a
No,
random
that's why
person
I'm
because
like,
we've had a lot of
it sounds more
random
like a Halloween
killings.
prank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a Halloween prank. He sounds like a John Wayne Casey groupie sent this in. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's why we call it the Gacy connection.
All I can visualize is here you're going to drop this person off that you've tasered, you've tied
Mhm.
up, you've scared the bejesus out of them, and then you're just going to pick up your phone and play a clip that says, "No treats for you this year, only
Also,
trick."
like, you truly have to approach them from behind for them not to notice you or recognize you. You'd also have to be in some solid makeup. You couldn't be like Krusty the Clown going, hey, kids, like, was it a good time at the club? It just wouldn't. Yep. Kermie. I can't do Miss Piggy. So your boyfriend and I should get together and we'll have the Muppets. It'll be fun.
I just
Yeah.
laughed. I just pulled up. I couldn't find the picture of HH this last year, but back in 2012, we won a contest for Evil and Beauty dressed up. But there's no way to drop a picture into the comments. So I can't share.
It's a habit. It's a habit at this point. Lisa the Puppet Wilmot shows up.
So I am just going to also say, I see a clown, I'm going the opposite direction.
Okay.
I don't care if I've been drinking. I don't care what. You get out of your car dressed as a clown, I'm not coming anywhere near you. So I would just say not the best costume.
Oh, you know what? I'm playing these sounds and they're not playing because I'm not sharing my screen anymore.
Oh, that's why. I was like, why is he doing that little look? Okay, share your screen so we can
That's
hear the
why.
sounds.
It was such a good one too for you saying not today. You know,
Not today.
it was
Not today, Satan. Not today.
that one, and then this one, obviously.
Hello, Poppy.
That makes more sense now, everybody. Oh my goodness, just you know what? I was supposed to be a shock jock. End of story. I think this every time I hit a sound effect.
Well, and the one thing I do also say I really love about this crime, the person got a 2-day vacation out of it. They go out of town on a 2-day trip.
And they caught up on their sleep.
I'm like, can we just skip everything and let me go on a 2-day trip by myself?
No, I need this. You got to use the stun gun. You got to use the stun. Listen, handsome hubby's got to have one somewhere. So
Yeah, no,
that's all I'm saying.
we don't do stun guns.
Oh, we don't do stun.
We don't do stun guns. Sorry.
We live in the state where our guns have guns.
Well, that's a problem with the state I live in.
Well, yeah, I'm just being silly at this point.
I know. But I have one question. If you were
Yes.
the man, and I'm going to assume it's a man who got taken just because I'm a girl, would you call and report this to the police? Or would you think that they would never believe you?
Yeah, I mean, okay. This makes a great suggestion. If you were going to do something like this, make it the most wild situation that person will ever have to report to the police, because there is no way in their right mind that they would call the police and say, I was abducted by a clown. I was driven 2 hours, 2 days, whatever, outside of town. They left me after playing a recording on their phone, and they were driving in a Mini Coupe. Like, it's just like, you don't, yeah. But
I'm just telling you, I would not call and tell. I would probably only tell my BFF, and that would be it, because they would think I had dropped some major drugs or something happened.
I would most
or I was
assuredly
pulling
call
a
the police.
fake kidnapping.
Yeah, right. I would definitely call the police, but only after I put my wig back on, and then I would call. And that way, you cannot distrust a man in a wig. Hashtag not a drag queen. So,
Okay, but with that said, would you go home and tell your spouse? Because I have to tell you, I would not come home and tell HH this happened. I would call and say, hey, there was this cute white fluffy dog. I got in a car with this person. They dropped me off here. Could you come and get me? I would never admit any of this.
I feel like saying that you were abducted by a clown is easier to avoid ridicule than by saying there was a cute white fluffy dog, so I got in somebody's car.
Oh no, he would believe that. I would do that.
Fair.
I would do that.
Stun guns do. They probably do, actually.
Oh, do they?
You know what? I've already looked up chloroform, and I've looked up the voltage of stun guns. I am not going to look up if they leave scars tonight.
I will go look
that
that
is the
up.
triumvirate of woo. So.
Oh, I
think it's heat, right? It's voltage.
Up to 30 minutes. It does no permanent damage. There will be little bitty small red marks, almost like a scratch or an abrasion, and they heal as long as the person lives.
People have been convicted of murder for that, a scratch or an abrasion. So I don't know. Yeah. I cannot imagine, even for a split second, being stunned by 120,000 volts.
I can't either. I just couldn't.
Oh, well, that was fun. That was fun.
That was.
I like doing this. It's fun.
I'm just glad it wasn't a child.
Yes.
And they didn't kill anyone. They didn't do anything bad to him. I mean, they stunned him a couple of times at the most. I mean, how bad is that?
It gets a 3 or a 2 on the scale, I think. But in terms of funsies, it might get a 10.
As I say, I think it's kind of. You know what? I might need to try this in August when Mike's in town.
Oh. Well,
now it's hitting you. You
that's
think I
funny.
could get Mike into the car if I dressed up as a clown?
Do you still have
tasered him?
You still have Dub H's old costume?
I do.
Boom. Lisa said, I think I'd be believed. This from the girl who rolled off a giant gym ball and left a makeup imprint on the gym mirror.
Oh, wow.
She said, it's true. A perfect face plant. Oh, good grief.
Wow. Was that painful? Oh, that just made my face hurt.
That would hurt. That would hurt plenty.
Well, I have to say, these were pretty good.
Yeah, they were all right. They were all right. You know, I think we're going to see some improving over time. Because I think everybody's going to know how we pop holes. So you'll know what to strengthen, really.
I do know we have one that's like 3 pages long. So we might have to save that one to do in one episode. I got told it was 3 pages and it's very detailed. And we're trying to do them in the order they're received. It's not to play treatments, but I might have to look into that 3-page one.
Well, if at any point you want me to read one of them, just let me know.
I will. And then maybe one day you and I will have to write one. And then maybe we bring some guests in and let them read it. Guess which one of us wrote it, and then them debunk us.
We'll get Brandy in here.
That could be a fun thing to do in the future.
I agree. I like it.
So yeah, that was fun. And I think we're ending on a good note, but I'm going to just say I like the dog abduction. That has been my favorite.
It's a goodie. It's a goodie. Oh, well, everybody, thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
We sure appreciate it. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, if you haven't hit the like button, and if you haven't, share us around like a bad penny.
Because I'm going to say if we can hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of August, I think I have a pretty good, fun idea.
Uh-oh.
If we can hit that.
35 cents.
It's more than 35 cents.
Whoa. All right. Well, I'm in that as many times as 35 cents is multiplied.
Because we know $1 will make you holla.
Well, we know that 35 cents will, so I will absolutely scream like a madman for $1. Woof. Well,
thank you, everybody. Keep sending in the plans. I know somebody on Twitter reached out today and said, are you still taking them? Yes, we are. So keep sending them and we'll just keep throwing them in. And I think we're just going to start randomly picking them instead of doing them in order.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you like True Crime and Wine Time, you can also catch us on podcast. We have a podcast that hits different themes each week and different crimes for each theme. And the last theme that we did was LGBTQ crimes. Before that, we did... What did we do?
Athletes.
Yes, we did athletes. We've done cult crimes recently. We did Angels of Death with Mike from Brew
Sibling
Crime.
Killers is coming out next.
Yes, that's going to be... Oof.
And we're going to test. Remember, we're going to start live recording the podcast on this channel,
Mhm.
and then we will post it as a podcast separately. But we're going to start doing them live streaming because JT has fed me the Kool-Aid of this community, and I love it.
Yes. Yes. Now we just need the 13th jurors to know that in the evenings on Thursday, when we can, there will be content. Just
That's
on a
right.
different
If
channel.
they got nothing else to do, and on the Thursday that JT can't join, I can always try to come, and then I can project JT.
Oh, the world does not need a projection of JT. Many people would agree with that.
I disagree. We need more of you. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. And these stories are great.
Mm-hmm.
So keep sending them in.
Yes. All right, Teri, you want to end the show?
Oh, how do I do that? Ha 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 ha. No. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe, watch out for crime, and enjoy your wine time. Cheers.
See you all next time. Bye.
Bye.